So this was the return of the 2-hour SmackDown format here. This was also a pre-taped episode, which might have kind of explained as far as why this episode of SmackDown kind of just felt like in the middle. For me, at the very least, I'm going to be honest with you, it felt like this episode of SmackDown, although there was some good stuff here and there, like the tag team matches and so on and so forth, I felt like if you were to miss this episode of SmackDown, you probably weren't going to miss very much of anything. There was the Drew McIntyre return. We kicked off the show with Cody Rhodes. He came out here to address sort of what the crown of the King of the Ring means to him. The fact that now he's going to see John Cena in the main event of SummerSlam. And then Randy Orton comes out, points out the fact that he mentioned for weeks and weeks that he was going to not hesitate when it came to Cody Rhodes. When it comes to meeting John Cena once again and taking the WWE Championship, adding to his 14 or 15 championship reigns. But he said that when push came to shove, eventually Orton hesitated, and that's when Cody took advantage. He told Cody that he wasn't upset with him, that he respected him, but the fact that, he has this opportunity now, he has to seize the opportunity and can't squander this opportunity with John Cena. And out comes Drew McIntyre after being off for a couple weeks following the Damian Priest match at Saturday Night's Main Event. He came out here and called out Cody Rhodes for being a politician, for being a hypocrite, for taking advantage of Randy Orton's lower back, his surgically repaired lower back, obviously trying to stir up shit between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, which, like I said before, is probably going to be the post SummerSlam main event feud going forward. And obviously after Drew McIntyre stirred up shit, Randy Orton gave him an RKO for his troubles, and we get this match announced for Saturday Night's Main Event, Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is definitely a good challenger for Cody if they want to run that post SummerSlam. But if you're asking me what I would prefer to see first, I would definitely prefer to see first that Randy Orton Cody Rhodes program given to us before anything else. We also got some news as far as Evolution. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are going to be number one contenders for the Tag Team Women's Championships, and Naomi is going to face Jade Cargill at Evolution. And we also got the return of Trish Stratus against Tiffany Stratton at Evolution. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't really find myself that interested in a Trish Stratus match in 2025. For me, I'm just not genuinely interested. I feel like Tiffany, her road is essentially to carry the championship all the way to SummerSlam. That way Naomi can cash it in on her at SummerSlam. And like I said before, we had a great match here between Andrade and Rey Fenix against Fraxium. We had Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu against JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. They obviously ran down the entire Bloodline 3.0 here. Post-match, Jacob Fatu gets the win, but he wants to put Solo Sikoa through the announcer table. When, of course, out comes Tala Tonga Hikuleo. Out comes the infamous, the greatest of all time, Tonga Loa comes out here to make the save for Solo Sikoa. They end up putting Jacob Fatu through the table, and of course you get the infamous Triple H spot of the Bloodline standing tall. I remember this time last year that being the spot that went crazy for him, and that's how we ended off SmackDown. And like I said before, if you missed this episode of SmackDown, I really wouldn't blame you. You really weren't going to miss much, other than the obvious Drew McIntyre return and, of course, some other things sprinkled on here and there. I think, SummerSlam season is eventually going to pick up once we get Cena back on television, which he isn't scheduled to be currently on television for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think, which is definitely going to hurt the SummerSlam build because we need the top champion here to appear on some of the shows. But let me know what you guys think down below of this taped 4th of July episode of SmackDown. And until next time, I will see all of you on the next one.